Yo, it's Jojo. I'm back with another analysis video of the ArkRivalry 1v1 tournament. This time we're going to be looking at the second match between Katanazera and Shichisu, the Reaper Mirror. This was an extremely exciting match. It kind of looked like some kind of Dragon Ball Z or anime movie where the characters were just teleporting behind each other, trying to bait each other out, playing some kind of 5D chess inside of their minds at the speed of light. Holy shit. It was really difficult to analyze these fights and understand what's going on. And I believe the viewers had the same thoughts because in the chat there were a lot of people saying, what the hell is going on? I have no clue, but it looks pretty and it looks cool, so I'm happy either way. And if you don't believe me, well, just take a look at some of these plays.
Self-dash, as you see, get an instant knockdown and an immediate core catch from Shichisu. He lands a dagger as well. That dagger will let him teleport to Katanazera, and he gets another catch. That's a double.
Predict the engage here, and Katana unable to. Katana is able to knock him up with the tier 2, actually lands the stun on him on the follow-up, and is able to do a little bit of damage, and uses the ultimate here to just do as much damage as he possibly can.
Shichi at the very tip of that. Now we see the Night Haze come up from Shichi. He's going to be able to get the catch. Katana catching this very well, and we go into under 30-second period now.
Shichisu has to make something happen here. The last 23 seconds on the clock. Katana is doing a fantastic job at counter-engaging here, just disabling his engage, and 32,000 crit from the brand.
Quite a lot of damage taken. Katanazera, we see the awakening come out. Shichi does not want to lose this, and it seems like he's actually going to make it off of that awakening.
He's playing this, he's adapting, he's downlining, stuns the clone here, unfortunately, but uses the blink from the dagger to actually engage in Shichisu to close out that distance. This is really difficult to break off of because they're both just fighting each other constantly, and the ultimate goes out from Katana. He knows he needs to get something done before the timer runs out. 10 seconds left on the clock. Shichisu at 28%. Katana can just wait it out. He can't just stay in stealth and just the two clones are duking it out with 3 seconds left. I don't think Katana's coming out to fight anytime soon, so he's saying, I'm taking this one. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one, Shichi.
So without further ado, welcome back and let's get into this. So to understand what the hell is going on in these fights, we gotta take a quick look at the Reaper kit, their game plans and their skills. So they have 4, or at least the skill builds that these guys have opted for, are 4 purple skills, 2 green ones and 2 red ones. The 4 purple skills will be their engage, dodge and stun catch tools. Their green skills will be follow-up, damage, dot laying abilities that can be used in certain situations. Their red skills will be their heavy-hitting damage abilities. So in the mirror here, the only skill difference that I could notice was that Katana had the move speed buff on the dash, called Flare of Darkness. I am not sure if Shichi decided to play the dodge talent instead. I am not knowledgeable enough about the Reaper skill variations that you can do in this matchup, so I will leave that up to the pros. If you've got any advice, please do hit me up with the comment down below, and I would love to hear more from you. So in the last video, Neeko mentioned that after the awakenings were used, he would have liked to change up his skill build so that he had some more burst instead of having more super armors, because he did lack a little bit of burst without the awakening. And I'm not sure if it's the same thing here with the Reapers, because it looks like you could play 3 red skills. I know Reapers do that in 3v3 because you have more setup. But in 1v1, I do not think it is valuable to swap one of the purple skills for Scarlet Ray, the charge up dagger hit that Reapers use in 3v3. Yes, it could give you more burst if you manage to catch someone without a roll, but from what we could see during this matchup, they never really caught each other without rolls. They were always baiting, jumping around, teleporting behind each other over and over again. There was only maybe 2 or 3 moments in this entire series where someone was caught without a roll and got hit with a full combo. Let's finally talk about the differences between these two players. You can clearly see throughout the entire series that Katanazera is the offensive one and Shichisu is the defensive and reactive one. So having a playstyle is all fine and good, but knowing when to switch it up is the important part, I would say. So of course, you can have a tendency to be the more defensive one or the more aggressive one, but in each and every match, Katanazera was constantly pushing the aggression, constantly putting Shichisu in awkward spots and having keeping him on his toes. This makes it very difficult to play defensively. Like, you're under so much pressure and you never really dare to make any moves and put any pressure on the enemy. He gets to play at his own pace and like control the feel of the match. This is very important. Like I said earlier, 1v1s are just as much about endurance as they are about skill, like mental fortitude. If you feel like you're under pressure, like any mistake could cost you the match, you're not going to play well. Even though I'm talking about aggressive plays being so important and so effective, I really need to give Shichisu a lot of credit for his like very thoughtful, methodical, reactive and defensive playstyle. He does make some amazing plays, some great reads, and does catch Katanazera off guard a few times. He does, for example, win every single dash trade with Night Haze. Pretty much every single Night Haze or dash trade that they did in the entire series went in Shichisu's favor, like 80% plus, and which forced a roll from Katanazera. But still, there was no aggressive movements from Shichisu after that. As the series progresses, more and more slip-ups happen. The biggest difference between these two players is definitely the move Shadow Dance. Katanazera, throughout the entire series, used Shadow Dance aggressively to try to hit the tip of the dagger at the end of the move. He didn't even try to hit with the AoE, but instead used it as a catch option that completely caught Shichisu off guard several times. Shichisu constantly used Shadow Dance only as a defensive tool and never to catch, which definitely hurt him when he'd managed to get the dash trades in his favor, force a roll out of Katanazera. He would not push the issue. He can definitely go in for trades there and get hit by something, roll out, and still be fine. There was also one other big mistake from Shichi that maybe could have turned this game in his favor. Katana gets an insane combo and full awakening hit in game 4, which leaves Shichisu at like a 60% HP disadvantage and like 15 seconds left in the match. And unfortunately, Shichi decides to try and get it back to get that morale boost and get the victory for himself. But unfortunately ends up wasting that awakening. And I think that is ultimately what cost him the match. Sure, the differences in playstyle might actually not be that big, even though I think being the aggressor really alleviates pressure from yourself, and the mental game is very, very, very important. So wasting the awakening combined with feeling that pressure from Katana's constant aggression must have really gotten into his head, because the last 2 matches, Shichi is so afraid, even though he gets a few opportunities to go aggressive and actually make plays himself when he has the cooldown advantage. He just doesn't dare to. He does not walk, and it doesn't put Katana under any pressure. And this is what I believe put the nail in the coffin in this game. And this was definitely the biggest difference between these two players. The Shadow Dance mix-ups, the Crimson Flash aggression, eventually they would hit. Yes, Shichisu played some stellar defensive gameplay, but it's enough with one mistake, one button press too slow, especially with ping. This can also make it very awkward if you, well, for example, pressed your spacebar, you pressed your ability, but somehow the game didn't register it in time. The aggressor will always have the upper hand in that case. Either way, both players were extremely, extremely good. I was really impressed by both of them, and I look forward to watching more. Thank you guys. If you stuck around for the entire video, that means a lot to me. Do leave a comment if you did, because I want to know if people like this type of content or if I should switch something up. But anyways, that's it for me. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.